All right, somebody asked for it, so I thought I would try it again and see if we get any love for this kind of video on my YouTube page. I'm going to continue to do the breakdowns, the tape breakdowns. Got a lot of great response from that, but these never seem to go over extremely well. This is what my website, QBConfidential.com, is all based off of, is really the details of the game at the next level, breaking it down. So if you really want this stuff, that's the place to go. Over 860 videos like this. Just for whatever reason, you have, I think, a lot of casuals on YouTube, so we don't get a lot of love. So let's give it a shot and see where we go. All right, so one of the plays that I drew up for somebody on Twitter out of the bunch formation was the stick spout combination. Had a couple people say, I really like that combination, so let's teach it a little bit. All right, the first thing is we're going to condense the X in the split, because the most important thing when you're running stick is to make sure that your flat and your stick cross each other very quickly, okay? Because we want a lot of space to be between these two guys. The closer they are together, the easier it is for one guy to sit outside and cover both of them. So we want a quick cross. So we have to make sure that the X understands where the flat is coming from, okay? So if we put the T here in kind of an empty spot, okay, the cross is going to happen much quicker. So it's going to be more natural, and we're going to get that separation that we want more naturally. But what you always have to do if you're a guy running the stick is you have to identify where the flat is coming from. Oh, the flat's coming from the backfield. It's 5 yards deep. It's a few more yards inside. I've got to take a little bit more time. Seam, push up, make sure we're pushing it to 6 yards. Why 6 yards, Kurt? Because these linebackers are normally sitting at 5. So if we run at 5, we're not threatening them deep. So we want to try to threaten them past their position so they turn their hips a little bit to go deep. That's what helps us to win when we're separating horizontally. So we want to push them vertical and then break away horizontal. Okay? And that patience and understanding is, where does my location have to be if I'm X? The wider I am, the more time I have to take. The tighter I am, the quicker the cross happens. And now we can stretch an outside linebacker if we're doing this. Now that strong safety really has to go to stay outside and hold leverage on the flat, and that's what opens up that window. Closer they are together, the less this space this guy has to cover, and the tighter the window for us. Okay, so if we're reading this backside, as you see I drew up a cover 2 look here. If we're reading this backside, we're going to read the outside linebacker. He pushes hard right now. Okay, he pushes hard right now. Now we're going to come back into the stick. Now it's important for the stick to beat the wheel linebacker. So that's why the ability to get in there, use your body to separate can be one aspect of it. The ability to get in there and push vertical, burst vertical to try to get this guy moving this direction. So now it's harder for him to stop his weight and go out is key. If we break it at 5, or if we let this guy dictate our depth, so we break the depth right in front of him, he doesn't have to do anything. His weight's coming downhill. It's easier for him to jump this. So we really want to be patient, push up. If you're tight enough to him, use your body. Lean on him. Get his weight leaning back, right? Leaning on him back. So now we can separate. And again, it's harder for him to set his weight going forward and jump this, okay? On the other side, we have spout. All right, so the spout speaks to the out. It's kind of a switch pop. Okay, so similar to the pop combination where we have 2 pops and a flat. Okay, this is another version of that to kind of switch it up, but we're still getting the same sort of thing. We got a guy going to the flat, a guy in the hook area, and a guy inside attacking that Mike linebacker. But spout, it starts with the out on the outside. You notice it's always a burst release for me. Okay, I want to create the same sort of spacing I would have if Z was in a normal alignment. So we never want to allow the defense to cover less ground. So the more we condense things, the more we have to space it back out once we run our routes. So you notice I've got this burst outside. The goal for me is to attack the outside number of the outside defender. Whoever that is, that flat defender or the guy that can take this away, usually going to be the corner because I like outs obviously against an off corner. So we're going to attack the outside number of the corner. Why the outside number, Kurt? Because if I'm running this route and I'm running it inside the corner, the quarterback can't throw it. If the corner is sitting outside of you and I'm trying to anticipate this and let the ball go, I can't do that with the corner sitting outside of you because I'm throwing it with him having the advantage. Okay? If we attack his outside number, once we get to his outside number, now we know we've got a chance to beat him. I've got a chance to throw it out in front of you on the sideline, and we can be successful because now you have leverage. So it's all about taking back the leverage we want on a particular play. So wherever this guy is, you're attacking outside number to even outside of him. If he's condensed a little bit more, I don't care if you go 2 yards outside of him, because the more space and leverage you get, the easier the play and the read for the quarterback. So we're going to burst outside, attack that outside shoulder, outside number of the corner, and then we're going to roll it to 6 yards. Okay? We're switch releasing these two. Now the F could easily be the guy running the hook, and the Y could go over the ball. I like to switch release these two guys because it makes it a little bit tougher, especially if you get man-to-man, these guys switching and creating rubs and doing all that stuff. But you see what we're going to do, and it's all about landmarks, okay? I'm basing this off of what we used to do in high school, but the hashes and stuff are going to be different. But we always attacked, 2 yards outside the hash. Okay, so Y, that's his landmark. So it doesn't matter who's doing it. If Z's doing it, if F is doing it, if Y's doing it, same landmark, same spacing on the field. Out, attack the outside leverage, outside shoulder of the corner to spread that out. And then it's 2 yards from the hash. And the F, you are going to attack the inside number of the Mike linebacker. Never going to get over the ball. We never want to bring anybody from the backside into the equation. So we're going to stay front side. Want to stay like B gap, over the guard here when we're running this pop. But I want to attack the inside number of this Mike linebacker. What I'm really trying to do is hold him inside so I can get a 2-on-1 outside. Okay, as long as I'm going to beat the corner with my out, so the corner is not going to be a factor. Now it's this guy that has to take it away in this cover 3 look. He goes and takes it away. Now what? Now we replace to the Y, and then if the Mike pushes through to the Y, there's nobody, pushes through to the Y, there's nobody there for the F who's running the pop on the inside. Okay, so we get corner off, which is why we like this concept. We're going to start outside, the furthest throw, the toughest throw, but also the most advantageous throw because we expect these guys to be inside. Going to be really hard for him to run through and stop a quick out. So we're going to read it outside, in, okay, look at the out, then we're going to recover to the Y, and then we're going to work inside to the F. Never want to look at the F first because if he's not open, I'm going to be late to the Z on that long throw to the outside. If we talk about high school level, okay, condense this split as much as you have to condense it to be able to make the throws that you need. We don't want it to be so wide if you're throwing from a backside hash. Some quarterbacks aren't going to be able to make this out throw. So condense your throw as long as the spacing of these 3 guys is the same. Okay? What I mean by that is we want to make sure that the relationship between all of them stays the same no matter where they are on the field. Okay? Whether we're in the middle of the field, backside hash, keep the spacing of those 3 guys the same no matter what you do. So we're forcing the defense to cover the same amount of ground. Okay? So if we're reading this front side, because to me, I'm a numbers guy. Okay, backside, yes, we can win, but there's 2 against 2 back there. Strong safety and will on the backside against my X and my T. Yes, I expect my X to win by running the route the right way, but they still have the numbers to be able to stop it. To the front side, they've only got 2 against R3, so I like the front side better as long as we run this right and don't let the corner get into the equation, right? If we run this bad and we run it inside of him and now he's sitting outside leverage and he can take it away, now they gain the advantage back because they've got 3 against R3 over there, okay? We go to a quarters look, okay? Go to a quarters look right here. Now we're going to have advantages on either side. Backside, they really only have 1 guy to cover 2, okay? I expect this corner to be condensed here, all right? So we're hoping that he's not in a position where he's wide enough where he can go ahead and drive this flat. We always have to be aware of that because we're seaming inside with the X. Okay, that's where another combination like a fish combination would attack this a little bit better because we would be attacking the corner. But on stick, we have to be aware if this guy's sitting hard outside and he sees the X go inside, he can release to the flat. And once again, we're the one-on-one with the wheel linebacker. The X having to beat the wheel linebacker right there. So really feeling where the corner is. If you don't like him, now we have that same advantage to the front side because there's still only 2 underneath guys to the front side against our 3. So we can always go back there in that particular look. And again, just like we talked on the backside, we can't let the corner get involved. So we have to attack him the right way and understand how to win off of him so he can't become a factor as the third guy. Okay, so that's where quarters would come in. Easier on the backside as long as that corner is not involved. It happens bang, bang. It's not as far of a throw, all of that good stuff. But if they're cheating that corner a little bit, hey, let's work back to the front side and let's take advantage of our numbers. And then we go to cover 2. All right, and so cover 2, I always say quick game is not really designed for cover 2. Because quick game is attacking the underneath zones on the field. And in cover 2, they've got every one of the underneath zones covered because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys underneath to cover each one of those zones. So you see how it's set up here. They've got a guy to cover everything here. And so that's a big reason why, quick game, there's only a couple things like double slant or triple slant that are really good against cover 2. So if we're seeing a cover 2 team, we want to make sure that we have those in our arsenal, or we've got maybe a quick high-low like under. I always talk about under as one of those, or wrap. They happen quick, even though they're a little deeper throw, so we can high-low one of these underneath defenders because they've got guys sitting there. All right, so if we get cover 2, really a couple things you can do here. The one thing that I like is when X is condensed here, okay, it usually condenses the corner as well. He doesn't just sit out here by the numbers. So there's always a chance when he condenses and the X kind of pushes vertical here that he holds vertical, and there's a chance for us to still get leverage with the T on the flat to the backside. So again, feeling where this corner is, what his depth is, how condensed he is important. The wider he is, the harder it's going to be to get the flat and to work that on the backside. The tighter he is, the more depth he has, the more we have a chance to isolate that guy on the backside, get him to hold a little vertical and beat him with the flat. To the front side, we said, don't really have the out. This hook defender doesn't have to do anything to cover that. And really the mic is sitting there. But what I'm normally going to do on this play, if I get cover 2 and I don't like the relationship backside, I'm going to go right to the F and work the F. He's going to try to run at the inside number of this Mike linebacker. So he's going to try to get to the inside number of him before he hooks. So if he does that, now sometimes my best throw is, we hope this guy pushes through or maybe gets a little bit depth and we can replace him. But worst case scenario, it's an easy throw and I'm going to put it on the inside number. If he gets to the inside number of the Mike, so the Mike's sitting on his outside shoulder, I'm simply going to put this ball on his inside shoulder and try to hit this. If this Mike linebacker walls him, okay, so he comes in and this guy walls him, then hopefully we can bang him a little bit to get his weight going the other direction. And now I throw it to the outside number and I've got to make it work. Okay, so again, I'm not big into making plays work, but if you're going to run quick game and you get cover 2, there is not going to be an opening on any of these underneath levels. So if you've got a play like this, you have to make it work. We're going to make it work off of what this corner is doing on the backside, and we're going to get a completion. Or we're going to make it work off the Mike linebacker and find a way to get a completion. So what I was saying is, what I might do is I really like that front side spout combination against any corner off look. Okay, so I might just say, okay, here's what I'm going to do on the backside. I'm going to put the little wrap combination. Okay, so it's a quick 12 to 14 wrap in, and then this guy is going to check and run a quick hook right here. Okay, so if I get cover 2, I know we may be blocking quick game, so I can't take a long time to throw this. So this quick 12-yard speed in Happens very, very fast. So now I'm going to come back. If I look front side and they roll the corner over here, boom, I'm getting backside to my wheel linebacker. I'm going to read him quick, high, low, and I'm going to dump it to one of these two guys here to get my completion and to have an answer against cover two. Again, it's a quicker play. I'm not going to go a 7-step drop. I'm not going to go a deep play here to try to mesh with the 3-step drop to the front side, but this is a quick 5 on the backside, so a little bit longer, but I feel like I can still get this off with quick game type timing, and it gives me an answer against cover two. All right, so that's a quick breakdown of stick, spout, how I like to read it, how I like to run it, the details that go into that, and then how I would teach my quarterback what to look at in all the different coverages.